So the next topic is the gaseous transport in the blood. Okay, gaseous transport in the blood. So before that, so how the diffusion of gases? What is diffusion of gases? So the diffusion means movement of gas molecules from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration. Okay, so that is called diffusion. So suppose in the alveoli, okay, so in the alveoli, in the alveoli, so oxygen is less, right? Oxygen content is less because it is going to the tissues, right? So oxygen content is less, and but the carbon dioxide content is more. So here the gas molecules from the area of higher concentration. So in the atmosphere, okay, in the atmosphere the oxygen is more. Okay, oxygen is more. So from the atmosphere, so it will enter the alveoli to the lower concentration. So in the alveoli the oxygen content is less and the carbon dioxide content is more. So carbon dioxide is not entering into the alveoli from the atmosphere. Clear? So in the atmosphere oxygen content is more compared to alveoli. So from the atmosphere, so from the area of higher concentration, the oxygen get diffuses into the alveoli through a respiratory membrane. So respiratory membrane I already told. So respiratory membrane is a membrane formed between the blood capillaries and the alveoli, alveolar membrane. Okay, so blood capillaries and alveoli. So now in the alveoli the carbon dioxide content is more compared to atmosphere. So from the area of higher concentration, that is within the alveoli, the carbon dioxide will diffuses into the or atmosphere. Okay, the exchange of carbon dioxide in oxygen is taking place. So between the alveoli and capillaries, that's through the respiratory membrane. Understood? Diffusion. Next, so how the air enter the alveoli? So from the atmospheric air, in the alveoli, there is alveolar fluid is present. Okay, so this is the alveoli. Suppose so air enter, that is a gas form. Okay, so here the fluid, the liquid form. Okay, the fluid is present. So it will dissolve in the fluid. Okay, so from there it will diffuses through the membrane barrier. So between this there is a blood capillaries are there, right? So blood capillaries, this one. So it will diffuses through the respiratory membrane or barrier and enter the blood. Okay, so enter the blood. The same thing. So from the blood vessels or from the capillaries, so through the carbon dioxide will pass through the membrane barrier and enter the alveoli, and from here it will go out, carbon dioxide. Okay, diffusion. Next, coming to the how it is transported. Now in the alveoli it enter. Okay, so how it will go to tissue? Okay, means the cells it has to reach, right? Or either oxygen or carbon dioxide. So that is called, so the transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, transport of carbon dioxide and oxygen. So first we will see the oxygen transport. So oxygen get transported mainly in two forms. One is a physical form. Okay, physical form. Another one is a chemical form. In the physical form, simply it will dissolve in the plasma. So plasma, you know, the fluid portion of the blood. Okay, so simply the oxygen get dissolved in the plasma, so that is only about the 3%. Okay, so 0.3 ml per 100 ml of blood. So that is very little bit amount of oxygen is transported in physical form. Okay, then in chemical form, that is combination with hemoglobin. Okay, so that is the main function of the hemoglobin, that is the transport of respiratory gases. So that is through a chemical form, that is combination with hemoglobin. So we will see how in the hemoglobin it will combine. So you know, in the hemoglobin there are 4 heme part, right? So to this heme part, the iron is combined. So suppose you just remember, each hemoglobin molecule, each means one hemoglobin molecule carries 4 molecules of oxygen, because 4 heme is there. So heme and globin part, to this heme part, the iron is present. To that iron, this oxygen will go and bind. Okay, so 4 heme, 4 iron molecule, 4 molecules of oxygen. So just remember like that. Okay, so each one hemoglobin molecule carries 4 molecules of oxygen. That is enough. Okay, so each hemoglobin molecule carries 4 molecules of oxygen. Enough. Next is the combination of oxygen with hemoglobin is a simple oxygenation, not oxidation. Okay, so oxidation is a reaction, so that reaction is not taking place. Simply it will combine. So hemoglobin, simply it will combine with oxygen. So oxyhemoglobin. Okay, so combination of hemoglobin, oxygen with hemoglobin, which depends on partial pressure of oxygen. So partial pressure, PO2 is a partial pressure of oxygen. Understood? So PO2, partial pressure of oxygen. So that means, so the combination of hemoglobin combines only, that will depends on partial pressure of oxygen. So when you draw the curve, so it is not like 5 molecules of oxygen is combining to hemoglobin if 5 partial pressure of oxygen is present. So it is not like this. Okay, it is not like that. So that is depend on the availability. So that curve we can draw. So that is called the curve which is obtaining by plotting a hemoglobin saturations against the partial pressure of oxygen is known as oxygen dissociation curve. Okay, so just the question they will give in the exam is, draw the oxygen dissociation curve, or oxyhemoglobin dissociation curve, or hemoglobin dissociation curve. All are same. So it is a sigmoid shape. Okay, it is a, so this is the curve. So you will obtain when you draw the oxygen saturation with the partial pressure of oxygen. So oxygen saturation of hemoglobin means combination of oxygen and hemoglobin. Okay, so this is partial pressure of oxygen. So at the partial pressure of oxygen is 28. Okay, so this is 28, it will come 28. There's a 50% of saturation is taking place. That means 50% of hemoglobin get combined with oxygen. Understood? At the partial pressure of oxygen is 28. Okay, so partial pressure of oxygen is 28. 50% of hemoglobin saturation. Saturation means some suppose 100 seats are there. Okay, so to admit for allied health science, 100 seats are there. So in that 50%, 50 seats are filled. Okay, 50 seats are filled. So that means, so 50% of hemoglobin get combined with oxygen, like that. So another 50% is remaining. So but that will depend on, if partial pressure of oxygen is increasing, so it will slowly, that is also fill. Okay, so now at the partial pressure of 40, so it become 75%. Okay, so hemoglobin saturation is 75%. Suppose if partial pressure of oxygen is decreasing, so the 75% is coming back to 70% or 65%, like that. Okay, so next, when the partial pressure of oxygen is 100, okay, so then it will 97.5%. Okay, the hemoglobin saturation is 97.5%. It will be not 100% because the remaining 0.3% is taking place by dissolved form, right? So it is always 97.5%. So when the partial pressure of oxygen is 100, so this is also not 100. Okay, so this is only 97.5. so our hemoglobin carries 97.5% of oxygen or saturation at partial pressure of oxygen is 100. So this is very important. Okay, so this shape we call the sigmoid shape. For MCQ's question they will ask what is the shape of the oxygen dissociation curve. So you have to write it is a S shape or sigmoid shape, not S shape, sigmoid shape. So you have to draw this diagram. Okay, so same thing whatever I explained. So in the phase 1, there is a slow ascent, steep ascent and plateau phase. There are 3 phases. Then so partial pressure of oxygen, so at the arterial and the venous point. So that means, so if this is the capillaries, this is the arterial end, this is the venous end. So if they check the arterial end, so 97.5% of oxygen and hemoglobin saturation is taking place. If you check at the venous end, it will be decreases. Okay, only 75% saturation is taking place. So P50, so P50 means, so 50% of hemoglobin saturation at partial pressure of oxygen is 28 mmHg. Okay, that is at P50, 50% of oxygen saturation is taking place. So that is very important. Okay, next, coming to factors that shifting the oxygen dissociation curve to right side and left side. Okay, so suppose this is a diagram. So some of the factors which shift the curve to this side, or some of the factors shift to the right side. So we will see, so which are the factors which shift the curve to right side. So if the curve is shifted to right side, there is a less oxygen affinity. That means combination of hemoglobin with oxygen is decreases. So less affinity. Okay, that is whenever the increase in temperature, increase in H plus ion concentration or decrease in pH, increase in carbon dioxide. Okay, if the carbon dioxide content is increases, the hemoglobin will not combine with oxygen. So because affinity of hemoglobin to combine with oxygen is more than carbon dioxide. If the carbon dioxide is available more, so it will go and bind to carbon dioxide, like that. So increase in 2,3 dpg level. Okay, so these are the factors which shift the oxygen dissociation curve to right side. So right side means combination of these two will be less. So we call it the Bohr's effect. So Bohr's effect means whenever there is increase in carbon dioxide content of blood, that will increase the blood carbon dioxide, that shift the curve to the right side. So oxygen will be delivered to the cells. Okay, so oxygen will be delivered to the cells because when it is go to the tissue, so carbon dioxide is more, so all the hemoglobin will readily combines with carbon dioxide by leaving the oxygen. So this oxygen will go to cells. Okay, that is called Bohr's effect. Whenever increase in carbon dioxide content in the blood, that will cause the unloading of oxygen. So that means the hemoglobin will leave the oxygen, so carbon dioxide will combine. So that effect, that shift the curve to right side, that is called Bohr's effect. So these are the significance. So it takes place at the tissue level. Unloading and oxygen delivery to the tissue takes place. Next, coming to the factors that shift the oxygen dissociation curve to the left side. So that is, if the left side, it means increase the affinity, more and more carbon dioxide will combine, oxygen will combine with hemoglobin. The same thing, that is the increase in temperature. Here it is decrease in temperature, decrease H plus ion concentration, decrease in carbon dioxide level. So fetal hemoglobin and carbon monoxide poisoning and all. So this complete the oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve.